And we say good morning to you. We are live again. We're on the trail again at one of my favorite, in fact, the favorite place to come to and hang out with these guys will be Andy Dietrich and Tim Copenhaver and the kids at Champion Chevrolet here on the Bristol Highway Motor Mile, Johnson City. We're here again for show number 636. We got lots to talk about. We got a lot of folks to visit with today. We're going to be joined a little bit later in the show by Larry Shively, the athletic director at Dobbins Minute. He's going to check in with us and give us a report on DB Sports. We're going to be joined a little bit later on by Tiffany Willis from the Mountain States Heritage Foundation, where you can come in here and buy a $50 ticket and win yourself or put yourself in position to win a brand spanking new vehicle for the folks from on January the 27th from the good folks here at Champion Chevrolet. We'll tell you all about that. Let her tell you that. Where the money's going to go to. It's going to a fantastic cause. Again, it's coming up on January the 27th, the venue, downtown Johnson City. Buy a ticket. Change your life. There you see the flyer, and so let her talk more about that coming up here in a little while. Carmichael joins us. We'll hit a smorgasbord of sports with him, and also going to be joined a little bit later on by Dave Angie from the News and Neighbor, our buddy who co-hosts again tonight's Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. Got, two more shows tonight, and then the final end of the year finale on November the 30th, I guess. Coming up in 2 weeks, we'll wrap it up for this year for the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. Of course, next week we'll be eating turkey on this date and won't be here, and nor will they be here. They're going to be enjoying, of course, time with their families as well. So we say good morning again. Show number 636, countdown to Christmas, down to 38 days from today. Our verse to get it all started, we dedicate the show to the man who hung on the cross, and so we unashamedly do that. It says, out of the Psalms 139 books, 14 through 18 says, "You are my wonderful work." Don't ever forget that. Now think about that. You are my wonderful work. Don't ever forget that. You are not hidden from me, for I created you. I've ordained all your days. They were written in my book before the beginning of time. My thoughts are precious to you. They are more than all the grains of sand. Excuse me. So, what this says, and I take it literally, all your days were ordained for you. So on November the 17th, 2017, before I was even on my mama's belly, the book says he knew I'd be sitting right here with this hat on, this shirt on, getting ready to talk about the very things I'm talking about. All this was already ordained because they're written in a book before the beginning of time. That's the God we serve. And so that's out of the book of Psalms 139, 14 through 18. You know, it's interesting that, let me clear my throat here. Excuse me, I'm talking clear as a bell. As soon as I go in the air, I get a frog in my throat. But anyway, Psalms 139, 14 through 18 is the verse of the day. Again, everything that goes on every day was ordained before we ever came out of our mother's stomach. So that's in the literal sense out of the book of Psalms. Good morning to you. We do have college basketball to talk about. We've got Major League Baseball, some more postseason awards passed out. We've got a story about Mike Tyson, of all people. Mike Tyson's in the news, and not in a good way. Typically, that's the way it is, unfortunately. So Mike's in the news. We'll find out about that coming up here in just a little while. Also, we've got, of course, Andy Dietrich's going to come by and tell us about how you can get the same discount pricing as a GM employee for the month of November here at Champion Chevrolet. Again, on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City, and ChampionJC.com. We're inside the studio, inside the showroom at Champion Chevrolet, and Andy will be along to enjoy. I'm sure he'll bring a chocolate chip cookie along because the in-house picking panel was once again won by Mr. Dietrich, and he has announced to the whole showroom that he's won 3 out of the last 4. And so Mr. Copenhaver said this is a brand new week, so we'll see how that goes, and we'll talk more about that. High school basketball, also some college hoops, as we said, some Major League Baseball news, college football news, all that and more coming up. And, of course, news from NASCAR's Championship Sunday coming up, and all 3 series, the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Camping World Truck Series, all that coming up. We'll talk more about that as well. We want to remind you this is the season. Of course, this is good anytime. Here you see our little pumpkin, and I bring this and says, give thanks. We have lots to be thankful for. And so, in a literal sense, just about every day, I run into somebody who's going through some tough stuff. And so, every day, I look and go, I may have this going on and that going on, but it's, compared to what other folks are going through, very, very, very minimal. I can tell you that. Got a little feller that we've been praying for over in the hospital. He's been in the ICU for 10 straight days. I think he's 6 or 7 years old. We've got folks going through cancer treatment. Got folks Had a friend of mine had a heart attack. We have somebody else that fell over dead just out of the blue back home. So uh, tough stuff. So give thanks. You say, well, you don't know what I'm going through. No, I don't. But I can promise you what you're going through, somebody else is going through something tougher. So give thanks. There's always things to be thankful for. Always, always, always. Count your many blessings. Count them one by one. Count your many blessings for what the Lord has done. So there you go. That's my singing. That's all you're going to get from me today from the singing department. Quick break. We'll be right back. Let's jump in and take a look at Major League Baseball. We passed out some hardware last night, and some deserving young men got just that, got some hardware. Also, coming up starting on the 27th, which is next week, check this out. We're going to give you a chance to win some cool cash for Christmas right here again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Boom, look right there. Starting November the 27th, share retweet images from my show. All you got to do is share it on to somebody else, and every time you share it, starting on the 27th, which you see right here, through December the 14th, we'll put you in the running to win some cold cash, $100 for the one that has the most shares or retweets. And every time you do it, you get an entry, but it doesn't start to the 27th. So when you see the show, you like it, one thing, but be sure and share it and send it on. And so we'll give you a chance to win $100 cash for Christmas. And that starts on Monday the 27th. Got some other prizes too. So it's a multiple prize Christmas giveaway here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, which we're very proud of. Quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll jump in and talk baseball. Passing out some hardware next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Oh, gosh, we had a whole list of new folks. Tank Morrell. Hello, Tank. James Morrell, his nickname is Tank. We'll say hello to you. So got folks out there. Picking panel winner, by the way, Larry Perry from Elizabethton. Saw him last night at church, told him he won, and he was all excited. So he gets a check for $25. And picking panel's back up this week. And let's see who the picking panel, see if we can tell you who's on the picking panel for this week. Got it right here, and here it is. Here are the games you can pick. It's real simple. We'll scroll down there and let you see. All you have to do to put yourself in the running to win $25, it'll take you, I don't know, 2 minutes to do it. There it is. Go to TomTaylorSports.com/football. 10 games this week. And here they are, the 10 games this week. Of course, LSU at Tennessee, Michigan at Wisconsin, Pittsburgh at Virginia Tech, Kentucky at Georgia, North Carolina State at Wake Forest, UCLA at Southern Cal, SMU at Memphis. You're also picking who will win between Texas and West Virginia in Morgantown, Arizona at Oregon, and East Tennessee State at Chattanooga. In town, out of town. If you live out of town, we'll mail you a check. If you live in town, we'll get a check to you. Either way, check for $25. Again, Larry Perry was our winner last week. Week before it was Tony Briggs. Tony Briggs won again. So, and Tony has always told me when I win, just give the money to charity, which I thought was very cool. So we're going to do that. In fact, we'll make a donation to, on his behalf of the $25, which is now $50. We'll probably make a donation to, probably this little guy right over here. We're going to put some toys in his box for him, and we'll let Andy tell you all about that coming up here in a little while. They got a box here in the showroom, Champion Chevrolet. We're helping this young man, and we'll just make that contribution to that on behalf of Tony Briggs, who's our two-time winner. Major League Baseball, the Baseball Writers Association announcing Cleveland Indian right-hander Corey Kluber, the winner of the American League Cy Young Award on Wednesday. Red Sox lefty Chris Sale finished second. Yankees righty Luis Severino finished third. It's the second career Cy Young for Kluber, who won the award back in 2014. Also finished third in the voting last season. Fourth time in the past 11 seasons an Indian pitcher has won the Cy Young. Now think about that. Fourth time in the past 11 seasons a Cleveland Indian pitcher has won the American League Cy Young, and they don't have a World Series championship to go along with it. Tells you it's a team game, not an individual game, right? CC Sabathia won it in 2007 for the Indians, Cliff Lee in 2008, and Kluber won it in 2014, and of course this year as well. And so Kluber is the first pitcher in Indian franchise history to win multiple Cy Youngs. Sale had an excellent baseball season. He was the first American League pitcher with 300-plus strikeouts since Pedro Martinez back in 1999. Though it wasn't enough to take home his first career Cy Young. So Corey Kluber from the Cleveland Indians, a Cy Young Award winner for 2017 in the American League. In the National League, once again, Max Scherzer wins it for the Nationals, again announcing that Scherzer won his second consecutive Cy Young, his third ever. He won the American League Award while with the Tigers in 2013. Only one of 6 pitchers to win the award in both leagues. Scherzer did it for the Tigers in 2013, and 16 and now 17 Scherzer does it pitching for the Washington Nationals. First pitcher in either league to win back-to-back Cy Young since Clayton Kershaw did it back in 2013 and 14. Both Steven Strasburg and Clayton Kershaw missed considerable time with injuries. Scherzer stayed healthy for the most part of the season. How about this? Here's an interesting stat. The third straight season, two teammates have finished in the top three of the Cy Young Award win voting. Scherzer and Strasburg did it this year. John Lester, Kyle Hendricks of the Cubs did it last year. And Kershaw and Zach Greinke, who was still with the Dodgers back in 2015 when Greinke was there, did it as well. So, again, Strasburg and Scherzer in there for the voting, but it again was Max Scherzer, only the sixth pitcher ever to win Cy Youngs in both leagues, and the first pitcher in either league to win back-to-back Cy Youngs since Kershaw did it in 2013 and 2014. On the local scene of baseball, note to pass on to you here on this Thursday. Again, we told you last week Tyler Parsons leaving to take a job with another minor league team in Michigan. Well, Zach Clark will be coming back as the new general manager of the Appalachian League Johnson City Cardinals. Again, he was the team's assistant general manager before leaving last season for the Asheville Tourists. He also completed his master's degree in sports management at East Tennessee State back in May. So Zach Clark coming back as the new general manager for the Johnson City Cardinals, replacing Tyler Parsons, who's moved on to Michigan. So we'll be talking, of course, to Zach and working with him when we get around to Appalachian League Baseball next year. And so congratulations to Zach Clark coming back home from Asheville, North Carolina, to come back and be the general manager for the Johnson City Cardinals. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Before we go to the break, we were telling you Mike Tyson in the news. Mike gets kicked out of a country. Not making this up. The country of Chile. Chilean authorities say they have denied former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson entry to the country, sending him back to the United States as we don't want him. Says Tyson does not meet requirements for entry, apparently due to his criminal record. Tyson served 3 years of a 6-year sentence back in the 90s for raping a teenage beauty pageant contestant. Mike Tyson also convicted of assault and cocaine possession. So the Chilean police said in a tweet their Interpol agents would escort him to a flight back to the United States tonight. So kind of a sad story. Mike Tyson kicked out of the country of Chile. They said, we don't want him, and so they've escorted him to the airport, put him on a flight back to the United States of America. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll take a look at our first guest and visit with Larry Shively, the athletic director at Dobyns-Bennett. He's our first guest. We'll see what's going on in the land of the Indians, coming off a big football season. They had a big turnaround for Graham Clark. Also, they won a big sportsmanship award. A young lady did very well in cross country, and of course, they're very excited in Kingsport about the new basketball coach and a new wrestling coach. So we'll talk to Coach Larry Shively coming up next, the athletic director at Dobyns-Bennett, on show number 636 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, you see on the screen on the phone Larry Shively, the athletic director at Dobbins Bennett. We are live at Champion Chevrolet inside the studio. To build us a studio here inside the showroom, we're here broadcasting live. And Larry, first off, thank you for your time. I know you're very busy, and gosh, let's promote some good things about DB. Let's start with the football team. What a turnaround for Graham Clark this year.
Tom, first of all, thanks for having me. And, I talk about Dobbins Bennett athletics 24/7, really. Just to have so many good things going on, so many wonderful student athletes led by some great men and women. And yeah, football season. What a great job by Coach Clark and his staff. I talked to him last night, joking around about people putting dirt on his grave early on in the season, 2 and 3. Of course, we played some really, really good football teams, and just got on a run there and played really good football and rattled off several wins in a row. Had a two playoff home games with really a chance to be playing tomorrow night. We make a couple more plays here and there, but just overall, just a wonderful, wonderful season. Back to being Big East Conference champions. The sky was a little bluer. When I woke up the next morning, it seemed like all was right with the world, And I tell our student athletes that all the time, don't take any of these things for granted. The success that we have athletically or academically, or the good things that you do in your life, because those things sometimes are hard to come by. And I think that was really, really good for us morale-wise. Starts the school year off on the right foot. Football is really important to us, and all of our sports are important, but football comes first, and it really sets the tempo for the rest of the school year.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. I think that's the case in most schools, because not only is it the big sport, but it's the money cow sport too. So that's what kind of drives the bus financially for all the other sports. Another award you're very proud of, and to me, this is almost as good as anything you win, is a sportsmanship award, and DB won that. Tell me about that. I know you're very proud of that.
Very, very proud of our kids for that. The Region 1 football officials actually grade each game that they call, and we were fortunate enough again, back-to-back years, to receive the Ralph Stout Sportsmanship Award for 6A in Region 1. And I get just as thrilled when we win those things, just as much as anything that we do. It's just a credit to our kids and to our coaches and the culture that we're trying to build here at Dobbins Bennett. And, that's really, really important to us. So thanks for mentioning that. very proud of that.
Absolutely. In this society, when people want to do what they do and cause what they want to cause and do the negativity things they do, so you got a team that gets rewarded for sportsmanship, got to plug that one because that's very, very important. And so kudos to Dobyns Bennett for winning the Sportsmanship Award. We're talking to Larry Shively, the athletic director. So we switched gears, got some new coaches. I know a lot of excitement for the men's basketball coach and the wrestling coach. Tell me about that.
Coach Poore, hired Coach Poore from Jeff County in March. Really presented some wonderful information to me in the interview process. We had several, you can imagine, we had several quality people. Coach Poore just hit a home run, and our relationship grew, and he is so creative, lots of energy and enthusiasm, and has really a long-term vision for our program. Kind of a daunting task, you're a head coach at any one of our sports at Dobyns Bennett, just being the caretaker, just being the guy that has his hands at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock and not trying to mess the whole thing up. I mean, he realizes the wonderful tradition that we have here at DB in our basketball program. And, we play tonight our first couple of games here in the Hall of Champions game down at Morristown West. We play Halls at 4:30 and Morristown West at 7:30, so the Chris Poore era starts officially tonight, and we're so excited. Those kids have been working really hard in the off season, lifting weights and running, and we're really excited about our boys basketball program.
Talking to Larry Shively again, the athletic director at Dobyns Bennett. We're here live again. We are Champion Chevrolet. Coming up, Tiffany Willis joins us from the Mountain States Foundation, again raising money for Niswonger Children's Hospital through Champion Chevrolet. We'll talk about that in a moment. And Larry, let's talk about wrestling. Got a new coach replacing the veteran Buzzy Mann. I know you're very excited about that.
Buzzy Mann had a wonderful career here at Dobyns Bennett, a Hall of Fame coach. Mm-hmm. Decided to step away and spend some time with his family. And we had several people express interest in the job, but we found the guy that we needed to run our program inside of our program. Wes Idlett, from the Maryville area. He's played football at Maryville College, had a wonderful career as a wide receiver. I believe he's an All-American there. Young, energetic, enthusiasm field coach, and just has a great plan, just like Coach Poore, really, very similar. Has the right mixture of being a players type coach, but also discipline. And sometimes that's hard to do both. And he's been out shaking the trees to raise money for our wrestling program. We think we have a really good wrestling staff as a whole, and the numbers are up, growing on some of the things that Coach Mann did. But our numbers are way up in wrestling. We're getting some crossover from the other sports. Some more of our football kids want to get out there in wrestling, which that really helps them in football, as you know. So we're excited, and they start next week, and he's really looking forward to growing DB wrestling.
Two more teams to showcase before we let you go. The Lady Indian basketball team, our buddy Bill Francis, he's on the show all the time talking about the Lady Indians, always upbeat and always positive. And also the kids swimming this year for DB. So tell us about those two winter sports as well.
So we have swimming. We have a home meet tonight at home. Coach Love does a great job, him and his staff. Have several returning swimmers on our swim team from last year with some experience, and a good mixture, too, of some of the younger guys. We started a middle school swim program a couple of years ago, and we will start to see the fruits of that labor. We want to train our kids all the same way, the same buzzwords, the same drills, and not just in swimming, but all of our sports. And some of those young kids are going to step up, and they're going to score points for us in the pool, and we're excited about that. Girls basketball, Coach Francis, great guy, great coach. They started their season there a couple nights ago. Got 2 victories over, they played Hampton, and they played Sullivan East. And we like our team. We like our roster. Coach has a mixture of some experienced post players. Of course, everybody knows about Courtney Whitson, but he's really excited about Jaden Fullen in the post. Both of those kids are juniors, and they can put the ball in the basket. But our guard play, we have some senior guards, but they're being pushed by our freshman perimeter players, which is exciting. We don't want anybody ever in our programs to get fat and happy and lazy and complacent. We want those kids to be pushed, and that's what's happening in a lot of our programs. And Coach really likes his team. We have a great basketball staff, and I'm excited to watch those guys play.
Absolutely. Last but not least, these are student athletes as well. Kudos to Leif Cook and the band. Went to, I believe, Indianapolis and really did well representing not only Northeast Tennessee but the entire state of Tennessee. So tell us about the band and how well they did.
Yeah, and what a wonderful run that they had. You know, and I hope people really understand how magnificent their performance was. Top 6 in the nation. You know, we have thousands of bands nationwide. We were fortunate enough to be number 6 at the Bands of America in Indianapolis last weekend. And those guys really work hard year-round. And I know a lot of people know that in the Kingsport area, but if they really knew the ins and outs of all the things that it takes to have a successful band program, all the fundraising, the parental support is untouchable. Just have so many good things going on, and to see it pay off in those kids' faces when it was announced that they were number 6, just a phenomenal job, and we're so happy of our DB band. And also want to give a tip of the hat to our alumni band that was put together quickly at our last home game, and I'm telling you, that was a sight to see. We have so many good things going on in our performing arts program. So proud of those guys.
You're a great ambassador for the program. I know you're a busy man. Just by hearing what you told me what's going on just tonight, you've got your plate full, so I won't keep you. But thank you for your time. We'll talk to you again soon, and thanks for being positive about the program.
Absolutely, Tom. We have so many good things going on at Dobyns-Bennett, and you're one of the best at promoting our high school athletes in the area, and I really appreciate that.
You're very kind. I'll talk to you soon, my friend. Thank you. And if I don't talk to you between now and next Thursday, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. We have lots to be thankful for.
Absolutely. Roll Tribe, Tom. Take care.
Yes, sir. Good man right there again. Larry Shively joining us again, the athletic director at Dobyns-Bennett. Before we go to the break, let's give you the plug. We plug it every now and then, but want to plug it today. The hair we're growing for Pantene, BeautifulLinks.com. We're growing this to hit the appropriate length, and when it does, we'll let the Gator Man whack it off, and we'll donate it to Pantene to roll it into, with other folks here obviously, to make wigs for cancer patients, primarily ladies going through either radiation or chemo. And so you can check it out. Every time we talk about it, we have folks that say we're going to do this too, and I think that's really cool. Pantene, BeautifulLinks.com is the website to go to. You grow it to the length they want, whack it off, you mail it to them, and they weave it into wigs with real hair wigs with other people's hair, obviously, for ladies going through radiation or chemo. So Pantene, BeautifulLinks.com. Check it out, and again, if you are so inclined, jump on board and do the same. So we're very proud of it. I haven't reached the magic point yet, but when we get there, we'll get it whacked off and send it off to Pantene. Quick break. We'll be right back. She's here, and she's ready to tell us all about how you can win not one, not two, but a chance for 3 different vehicles from right here at Champion Chevrolet. The 11th year, Tim and Andy have said we want to give and help to promote Niswonger Children's Hospital through the gala. Buy a ticket and change your life. Tiffany Willis is in the house next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. I'm not Tiffany, but we're going to get her on the screen as we're here live at Champion Chevrolet inside the studio, inside the studio, inside the showroom at Champion Chevrolet. And there she is, the young lady. Let's get a little closer. We can see her. There she is, our buddy Tiffany Willis. Good
Hello.
morning, young lady. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Just fine. Happy Thanksgiving early. This time next week, we'll be wolfing down turkey now. Do you cook?
Yes, but, well...
Ham or turkey?
Ham, it's easier.
Ham's easier? Okay.
They always make me make deviled eggs, actually. I'm the deviled egg person.
There you go.
Smells up your whole house,
That's
but
right.
I'm always the one that gets stuck with the deviled eggs for some reason. But
That's great. So ham, deviled eggs, mashed potatoes and gravy, I'm sure.
green beans.
Probably some beans,
Stuffing.
stuffing.
I like hash brown casserole with it,
ooh,
too.
there
And
you
then we
go.
always do corn.
There you go. And
So,
for us sweet teeth people, who we got pumpkin pie probably.
yeah, and a eclair cake. Chocolate eclair cake. We always do that, too. The graham
Man.
crackers and the
Oh,
vanilla pudding.
stop.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Stop. You're
So we
killing
do
me.
that, too.
Oh. So next Thursday we won't be here. We'll be here next Friday doing the show. But next Thursday we will be, of course, Champions closed to spend Thanksgiving with their family. That's kind of a given. So we'll be here next Friday broadcasting. But she is here to tell us all about this. Buy a ticket and change your life for January the 27th, 2018. This is exciting, and ticket sales are hopping, and that's what we want. And a $50 ticket changes a life. Tell us about it.
Yes, we started selling tickets back in early October. It's hard to believe already, but we're allowed to sell 4,000 tickets this year by the state, and really want to try to do that. We've never sold our complete, total that we can sell. So this year we really want to do that. It's $50. 100% goes to Niswonger Children's Hospital. And like I said, you have our opportunity. If you're the grand prize winner, you get a choice of one of the 3 vehicles that Champion Chevrolet is so kind to donate. I think you mentioned this is their 11th year.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to be present to win. The drawing is January 27th. That seems like a long way away, but go and buy your tickets now, and we'll mail them to you, and you have that opportunity. But speak a little bit about the vehicles. They're 2018 Cadillac ATS, 2017 Chevrolet Silverado truck, and then a 2018 Chevrolet Traverse. So all 3 vehicles, you couldn't go wrong if you won one of them. And then we also do 3 cash drawings. Second, $2,500 cash, $1,500 cash, and then $1,000. And if you look at the odds are pretty good for to win a vehicle, or I'd take even the $1,000 cash prize if I was eligible.
Absolutely. But you're not. The folks out there on the other side of the camera are. It's a $50 ticket, so you can win a new vehicle. And this is not we're going to let you drive it for 3 or 4 months and give it back. here's the keys. It's your car, your choice of a truck, a Cadillac, or a Traverse here from Champion Chevrolet. And then, as she mentioned, the cash prizes. I think one of the coolest things about this is you don't have to be there. A lot of folks will buy the ticket, can't get there. They got other things going on that night on January 27th. So if you win, obviously they will make the call and notify them. And so when they pull out the winning name for the vehicle, you actually, if they're not there, you call them, right?
Oh yeah, and that's the best night or best part of the night. We do it at the end of the gala before we start what we call our after party, and we have the tumbler, and we'll have a lady draw the ticket, and we call them, get them on speakerphone, and in front of 350 people, if they're not in the room, and I've seen so many times that they just pause for a second because they think this is a prank, or it's about 10 o'clock at night. Hey, you've won a car. So and last year was our own team member with Mountain States, which was exciting. But no, it's great to see, because for $50 you are supporting such a great cause, and our only children's hospital in this region. And then you can win a car or cash prizes. So you can't go wrong by supporting this cause. And we're just we're excited about it every year, and who's going to win. And said it's just a benefit for the Children's Hospital and for you. And if you don't win, you're still supporting a great cause, and supporting our only region's hospital.
Tickets are available here at Champion Chevrolet in the showroom. There's other ways. We'll tell you about that in a moment. We have a young man in our church, a little feller, that's been over there. I think they said last night at church he's been there 8 or 9 days at Niswonger. So, and everything we've been told is they're getting just red carpet, blue ribbon treatment, as they should, and they are. And so we hope that he'll get better soon and get out of there. But they're using the facilities of Niswonger Children's Hospital. If it wasn't here, I don't know where you'd go. Where would somebody go for a kid's hospital if it wasn't here?
Knoxville would be the closest. Now, if kids have been diagnosed with a certain kind of cancer, they have to go to Memphis. And if you've got parents that have a sibling here, you're having to separate your kids because you're driving to Memphis. So there's certain things that we can treat here at Niswonger. We have great specialties, but Knoxville would probably it is the closest one. So we're very fortunate to have this hospital in our area, and it doesn't serve just Johnson City. It's 29 counties that we serve. And on the 30th of this month, I am bringing Lisa Carter. She's the CEO of Niswonger Children's Hospital. I'm very excited that she's going to come on, because she can speak more on the clinical and the needs that they serve throughout the year, because these dollars that's raised 100% goes to whatever needs that they need. And it's amazing all the stuff that is technology's changing, or different kind of pieces of equipment that they need. The needs are there. So I'm excited about her coming on to share a little bit more on the clinical and what we've given back throughout the years from these events that we do.
Yep. Donna Tiffany Willis, you see on the screen, the Mountain States Foundation Coordinator. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet. Coming up, we'll take a break here in just a few minutes and bring you the very latest in college basketball. We'll break that down, take a look at some hoops from last night. The Lady Bucks get a big W. The Lady Vols get a big win. The guys, East Tennessee State's men, will be playing tomorrow night in Rupp Arena against the Kentucky Wildcats and John Calipari. So we'll talk about that and give you the rundown of last night's top 25 college hoops and some high school basketball as well. Carmichael joins us coming up at the top of the hour, talking a plethora of sports. And, of course, the burning question is, who's going to be the new football coach at Tennessee? And so we'll get some insight from Carmichael about that, and also Dave Angie, our other guest, coming up a little bit later on in the show. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet. So a Traverse, a Cadillac, or a Silverado is your choice of tickets. The event, by the way, is going to be at the venue in downtown Johnson City on January the 27th. So, again, I know a family right now using the service of Niswonger. I'm not sure what's wrong with the little guy. I do know he's been there for 8 or 9 days, and so whatever the ailment is, as you made a great point, if they had to travel back and forth to Knoxville every day, if Niswonger Children's Hospital wasn't here, imagine the financial burden, the time burden, the separation burden from the other members of your family, be it little people or moms or dads, whatever. So Niswonger Children's Hospital fills the gap for a lot of different reasons, just because of the proximity and the services offered. So this money goes to the Niswonger Children's Hospital, which is very, very important here in Johnson City. And again, for those of you going, well, it's a Johnson City hospital. It's based in Johnson City, but as you said, it covers 29 counties.
Right.
And that's a lot of area that folks are using. So that's why we're doing this. This is why Champion does it. They're always about giving back to the community. That's why Tiffany comes every other week to promote this. It's near and dear to her heart. I was trying to cipher here on the fly. I think today's the 17th, January 27th. I think without taking off my boots, I think it's 70 days to the event.
Okay.
I think.
I should be counting down because I've been, but I try not to do that. But yeah, you're probably close.
November 27th, December 27th, January, that's 60, and then kick out in 2 more days.
Yeah.
That's 70 days.
Right.
70 days from today. So tickets available here. 100% of the tickets, 1% of that $50 goes into Niswonger. It doesn't go to staff or it doesn't go to whatever salaries. It goes right into helping where it's needed. The Niswonger Children's Hospital. That's what I like about this, and so does Champion. So, these guys don't like me to brag on them, but I'm going to brag on them. 11 years.
Right.
They've handed over a brand new vehicle to you guys.
That's huge.
That is huge. I mean, that's phenomenal. But if you get around Tim Cobenaver and Andy Dietrich for very long, they're all about helping the community. And so
exactly.
You can buy the tickets here in the showroom. Where else can you get them?
You can go online. Our website is mshafoundation.org, or you can call our office. It's 423-302-3131. So that we, hope that you will consider purchasing one and, like I said, buy a ticket and change your life.
Tiffany's a sweetheart. She obviously knows how to get to my heart because she got it through my stomach because I walk in and she hands me some chicken tenders from Hardee's. She's had a meeting with Shannon, who normally is here, can't get here to talk about the Hardee's Classic. We'll be at Hardee's in Jonesboro on Monday broadcasting, getting ready for the Hardee's Basketball Classic, but you brought me some chicken tenders.
Yes, want to thank you. Thank you to Hardee's, too, because they definitely are good supporters of Niswonger Children's Hospital, so we appreciate that relationship with them.
There you go. And so as we're leaving here, I always want to show this, give thanks. We have
That's
lots and lots to be thankful for. And as I say all the time, we think we got something going, but there's somebody out there always got it worse.
Right. No, that's true. That's very, very true.
So count your blessings.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving. What do you want to leave us with? Buy tickets.
No. Yeah, just buy tickets and hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving and gets to take some time off. I know everybody needs that every once in a while, so hopefully people can just enjoy the holiday and be with their family.
Get off the merry-go-round and kind of recharge your batteries.
Exactly. Everybody needs that.
And enjoy deviled eggs.
Don't sign me up.
And eclair cake. Gosh, it sounds good. Eclair cake with graham
crackers and vanilla pudding, and then the chocolate fudge right on top. Oh, man.
Oh, with a big old glass of milk skull, make your teeth hurt.
Ooh, that's right.
That's country there.
I'll do it too.
There you go. That's country. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you week after next.
That's right.
She's a sweetheart. Quick break. Tiffany Willis, again, the Mountain States Foundation Coordinator, back after this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
Do you need an event catered? At Phil's Dream Pit, we cater for gatherings over 50 people, weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, company picnics, sporting banquets, to name a few. We can set up, clean up, and of course serve. We also offer value packs that include all the food. You pick that up and serve it yourself. Check out our webpage at philsdreampit.com. That's philsdreampit.com. Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit on I-26, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we're a phone call away at 423-349-6437, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad-spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
We're back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks again to Tiffany Willis stopping by here again on this Thursday. We're live inside a Champions showroom here, inside the studio, inside the showroom here at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City, championjc.com. Let's take a look at college basketball from last night, see who won out of the top 25. Seton Hall goes to 3-0. They have a 84-68 win over Indiana. The Hoosiers fall to 1-2. West Virginia, the Mountaineers, 1-1 on the season with a big, 34-point win over American University. Mountaineers win it 98-64. North Carolina, the Tar Heels, the defending national champions, they go to 2-0 with a 12-point win over Bucknell. Also, final score 93-81. Also, Minnesota, the Golden Gophers, 14th in the country. They're 3-0. Minnesota with a 107-81 blowout over Niagara. Also, Northwestern goes to 2-1 of the season. The Wildcats, 20th in the country. They get a win over Creighton. They got beat. They lost. Creighton upset them. Read it wrong. 92-88 the final there. Creighton with an upset of 20th ranked Northwestern. St. Mary's goes to 3-0 with a win over Cal State Fullerton 76-57. And UCLA runs their mark to 2-0 with a 106-101 shootout win over Central Arkansas. Tonight, top 25 college basketball, 8th ranked Florida hosting North Florida. 11th ranked Miami hosting Florida A&M, the Rattlers. 12th ranked Cincinnati, the Bearcats hosting Coppin State tonight. 13th ranked Notre Dame at 2-0 hosting Chicago State. Good one tonight. It's going to be on national television. Xavier, the Musketeers, at 2-0 at Wisconsin. The Battle of the Badgers at 2-0. And also in top 25 play tonight, 3rd ranked Arizona has Bakersfield on their schedule. Arizona 3rd in the country at 2-0. Bakersfield at 1-1. That's your college basketball schedule for today. NBA winners last night. Let's run them down for you. Let's see. The New York Knicks, the Atlanta Hawks, the Washington Wizards, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Also winners last night. You give wins to the Detroit Pistons. Also the Toronto Raptors get a win. Indiana, Oklahoma City. The Cleveland Cavaliers now just 8-7 coming out of the gate. Not too good for LeBron and the boys. They win in Charlotte 115-107. Portland beats Orlando, and the 76ers go into L.A. and beat the Lakers 115-109. 2 games tonight. Light night. The world champion Golden State Warriors will be in Boston to battle the Celtics, who won 13 straight. That should be a good one tonight. And Houston at 11-4 in Phoenix to battle the Suns in the NBA action for tonight in the National Basketball Association. College basketball locally from last night, Tennessee and Lady Vols go to 2-0. They win 89-60 over James Madison, so 2-0 for Holly Warwick and the Lady Volunteers coming out of the gate, currently in the top 15 in the country. East Tennessee State, talking about a tough lady, Tiana Tarter broke her nose and took stitches in a game on Saturday. She's back on the floor last night as East Tennessee State rolls over Appalachian State 70-57. Tarter poured in 22 points with a broken nose and stitches. How about that? Girl's tougher than a pine knot. And so she puts in 22. Lady Bucks go to 2-1, winning over Appalachian State. Again, the final there was 70-57. High school basketball last night. Let's run it down for you, see how things went. Not much on the boys' side. In fact, it all starts tonight. We don't have anything from last night. Tonight, high school basketball, Cherokee at Elizabethton, Cocke County at Sullivan South, Dobbins Minute, as Larry Shively said a few minutes ago, at Morristown West, Hampton at Sullivan Central, Happy Valley at Seymour, Mountain Mission will be in Sullivan East to battle the Patriots, and Unicoi County's Blue Devils at Volunteer in the Hall of Champions tonight on the boys' side of things. On the girls' side, let's see what we got going on for the ladies tonight. And I'm trying to see, I don't see the ladies' schedule in here. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right place here. Hang on, let's see if we can find it, and I don't see it. So all we got is the boys' side, and I apologize for that. Nope, here it is. This didn't look good enough. Girls action tonight. Cocke County at Sullivan South in the Hall of Champion game. Hampton will be at Sullivan Central. Happy Valley's Lady Warriors at Seymour in the Hall of Champion games tonight for the ladies in high school basketball. So that's what's going on in the NBA, what's going on in college basketball, and for the guys and girls in high school basketball here on this Thursday, November the 17th. Quick break, we'll come right back. He's in the house. Is he ready to go? He is, right on time. My man Carmichael's in the house. Butch Jones, who's his replacement? We've got an athletic director canned in the Southeastern Conference since yesterday. We'll tell you about that. Also, Mike Tyson gets kicked out of the country of Chile. We'll talk about that. We've got some NBA, whatever Carmichael wants to talk about. The Cy Young Awards, again, Scherzer for the National League, Corey Kluber for the American League. We'll get his take on that. The Cy Young Awards last night, the MVPs announced tonight. So Carmichael's got a lot of work to do. We'll put him to the test, and he'll come through flying colors as always. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live inside the studio, inside the showroom at Champion Chevrolet on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
Do you need an event catered? At Phil's Dream Pit, we cater for gatherings over 50 people. Weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, company picnics, sporting banquets, to name a few. We can set up, clean up, and of course serve. We also offer value packs that include all the food. You pick that up and serve it yourself. Check out our webpage at philsdreampit.com. That's philsdreampit.com. Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit on I-26, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we're a phone call away at 423-349-6437, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we're live again at Champion Chevrolet inside the studio, inside the showroom. Andy's coming up and join us here in a little while. Right now we got my man in the house, and there he is. My man, we simply call him Carmichael. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I am doing great on this Chamber of Commerce Thursday afternoon.
Not too bad, is it?
No, a little breezy, a little windy, a little Chicago wind, but beautiful afternoon for mid-November.
I love it.
Yes.
No ice, no snow, no rain.
Just a good crisp fall afternoon.
You live up in the mountains. You had any snow yet?
Oh, no. Not any snow, but last night on the deck, again, a bear made an appearance.
Really?
We've had bears all over usually goes in our garbage when I put it out Tuesday morning. A couple times it's went in there. But last night, I heard a little knock, and the next I looked at my wife. I was like, I know this is a bear. She thought it was a raccoon. She gets up, turns the light on, looks at it. Oh, my gosh, it's a bear. Well, a few minutes later, the bear runs off. A few minutes later, all of a sudden, come walking up on our deck. It's a bear.
You mean like a bear?
Like a bear? Not like a Chicago bear, but like a bear.
Size or a little cub?
Probably a big cub, not quite a full-size bear, but it's still big enough.
Like right outside the door?
Oh, yeah, right outside the door.
So what would prevent him from coming in on inside if he smelled food? Nothing?
Nothing, unless he wanted to try to break through the glass.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that would be the only thing, but that would have stopped him. I mean, we got up and went over and, stood at the door, but that would have been...
How would we detain him if he wanted to get inside?
I'd probably end up swinging an umbrella or something, picking up something at him, because no gun would have done any good to the bear. So
no,
or could like some of these pro wrestlers used to do back in the 60s and 50s, 60s, and 70s, try to wrestle the bear.
No snow up in the mountains, but bears on his back deck.
Yeah,
doo-dah.
Yeah,
there you go.
There's bears all over the place in the mountains.
There you go. We're in their habitat. So
yes, and that was the explanation that North Carolina Wildlife gave my wife was, well, you're living in their house, not them living in yours.
That's totally the way it is. So
yeah.
You got to get along best you can.
Oh, yeah.
So bears on the back deck. Baseball, Scherzer and Corey Kluber. You like these guys winning Cy Youngs?
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much. I mean, Kershaw lost his Cy Young when he was out due to injury. Mm-hmm. So you figure Scherzer was probably the best pitcher. Kluber, after the first month or so of the season, Kluber was as dominant a pitcher in the American League. They don't give this award through the postseason. They vote on these awards prior to the postseason because, in Kluber's case, he got lit up like a firecracker in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Scherzer didn't come up, the best in the playoffs, but still, they both had outstanding regular seasons.
Scherzer, the first pitcher in either league to win back-to-back since Kershaw did it in 13 and 14. His second consecutive and third in his career. Only one of 6 pitchers to win the award in both leagues. I have no clue who those 6. Can you name any of them?
6 pitchers to win them in both leagues.
Mm-hmm. I have no clue. So if he doesn't know them, I would put him on the spot.
I don't know if I would think possibly. Nolan Ryan might have won one in the National and the American.
Seaver?
No, Seaver didn't win one in the American. I'm really especially today, I've just been between football and everything else. I've not been in it, but I would think Ryan's probably one of them. Carlton didn't pitch really in the American League that much.
It doesn't matter.
Maddox didn't pitch in the American League. Glavine didn't pitch in the American League.
It's interesting.
Possibly Pedro Martinez could have won one in Montreal and in Boston.
Yeah.
So those are probably the ones I would come closest thinking of, and maybe Clemens. Because Clemens pitched with Houston and also pitched in the American League.
It's a great trivia question. Only one of 6 pitchers to win the award in both leagues. Scherzer did it for the National League again. So it's interesting. You look at Corey Kluber. And this stat's pretty interesting. The 4th time in the past 11 years an Indian pitcher has won the Cy Young. CC Sabathia in 2007, Cliff Lee in 2008, Kluber in 2014, and this year too, obviously. And yet they have no hardware in Cleveland because of it.
No World Series because of that. But they were contenders in all of those. I don't think in Cliff Lee's year they were a contender, but they were a contender in Sabathia. They made the playoff in Sabathia's year. They just couldn't shut the door and win it.
Sale had an excellent season, the pitcher for the Red Sox. He became the first American League pitcher with over 300 strikeouts since Pedro did it back in 1999. So, again, tonight, that's the Cy Young. Scherzer for the National League and Corey Kluber for the American League. MVP tonight, who do you think?
I like Altuve in the American League. And in the National League, it's going to be close. I tell you, the guy that should win it,
Joey Votto.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's just because I'm a Reds fan.
I would agree with you.
If you look at his stats, if you look at everything he's done, he was nominated for a Gold Glove award. His on-base percentage, his power, his average. Stanton probably is one guy that's going to be right there also for the MVP. It wouldn't surprise me if Stanton, but Votto should win.
And Votto did this on a dog team too. I mean, they're terrible. And they're not going to get any better, I don't think, in 18. Maybe. I can't really sit here and speculate on that. But 2017, they were not very good. And so Votto was very, he led the league in a lot of different categories and certainly led the team in just about everything. So it's Votto and Stanton, and the third one is?
And I've drawn a brain. That I would think possibly
Goldschmidt.
Yeah, and Goldschmidt probably is. The more you think about Goldschmidt, it probably because they made the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Even though Stanton had the year of the bomb. Goldschmidt also, he won the Gold Glove. Didn't hit quite as good. Didn't get it on base as much as Votto, but stole more bases. Had a little bit more pop than Votto.
Giancarlo Stanton, the sweepstakes continues. He's already said, forget the Dodgers. No, forget the Cardinals and forget the Red Sox. He's not interested in going those two places. So
the Giants are interested in him, talking about they've been in the sweepstakes in Stanton. The Yankees have got to be players in unless they're waiting for next year. The big fish coming out next year will be the kid in Washington. I have just went brain dead on
Bryce
baseball.
Harper?
Yeah, Bryce Harper. Baseball has been. You forget about it after a while because you've got so much in football. Yeah, I mean, it's so much college football, especially.
So that's what's going on again in Major League Baseball. The MVPs will be announced tonight. We'll let you know about those tomorrow. We'll be at Food City on the State of Franklin, right around the corner here and right down the road on a Food City Friday. We're talking to Carmichael. All right, here we go. Let's switch it to college football. We've got decisions to make in K-Town. What do you think? Gruden coming?
Gruden, you hear so many things. Mm-hmm. You hear, yes, he has come. You hear, I've heard that he has made contact with Dale Jones from Appalachian State, who's the linebackers coach there, former Tennessee great player, made contacts toward him, made contacts toward T. Martin at Southern California, made contacts toward the athletic director at UT Chattanooga that was in the Tennessee to come in and maybe be his compliance person there. And then you hear it's just fantasy. Mm-hmm. So you don't know who to believe. Tennessee, I think, is enjoying keeping the suspense going because, number one, if they are really after Gruden, okay, it keeps the build up. If they're not after Gruden, it lets them kind of look at who they really want to try to get and talk to that person who they really want to try to get. I think they're getting closer to somebody. I think if Gruden's not announced as coach by the end of this week, and when I say the end, like Sunday, he's not coming. Then they're waiting on somebody to finish up. They're waiting on either Dan Mullen to finish up. They're waiting on Scott Frost to finish up. They're waiting on. I don't think Gary Patterson. I think Gary Patterson's kind of waiting on what's going to happen at Texas A&M. There had been talk that they have also spoken to Tennessee's spoken to Jimbo Fisher, and also Sumlin. Also the Washington, the head coach out there, not Patterson, but Peterson, the head coach at Washington. So I think I've always really lately have been more of the Mullen Frost because it looks like Chip Kelly's going to be in Florida. It seems like that's getting closer and closer by the hour. Mm-hmm. That he's going to end up there, and if that's the case, I would think Frost has been talking about him going back to Nebraska, but I think Tennessee offers him more of a chance. I think Florida offers him more of a chance. I don't know why, unless Florida really wants to make the biggest splash with Chip Kelly.
Had a story yesterday. Again, we're talking to Carmichael. We're live at Champion Chevrolet. Andy joins us coming up here in a few minutes. So you look at quality programs right now as far as job coaching opportunities. Which is a better job, Florida or Tennessee? I'll say Florida.
Florida is a better job because the recruiting is easier. Tennessee can be one of the best 10 jobs in America if you bring the right coach in to do the right thing. The last 3 coaches they've had at Tennessee, they've had party boy, they've had student government president, and they've had the fraternity and they've in Dooley, and they've had the president of the fraternity in Bush,
yeah.
Lyle. That's been their fraternity. They've got to get an adult on the team and a real football coach. And this is the time to make that. And I think that's why Mullen or James Franklin would be one of my 2 choices. But I don't know if they've reached out. I don't know if Franklin would be interested.
From Penn State. All right, here's some more names. Let's throw out. I've heard Mark D'Antonio from Michigan State.
No.
Okay. Justin Fuente, Virginia Tech.
I don't think he would leave there just because it's just his second year in the program.
And he's got for me, he's got a mate in Blacksburg. He's always going to get 8 or 9 wins, play for the ACC championship.
Doesn't have to face the pressure of the fan base in Blacksburg, in Knoxville,
exactly.
And the constant scrutiny.
See, this is why I keep going back to Gruden. Now, he may fool me, but I'm thinking this guy gets out of coaching. He's 95-81 as a head coach. It's okay. It's not world beater.
Right.
But the guy's up in the broadcast booth making bukus of money. Well, Monday Night Football's going to go away. Okay, it might not. ESPN's going to make some more cuts. Yeah, they probably will. But if this guy's as good as he is as a commentator, he'll land somewhere else. So why would you walk away from that and go back into recruiting and fan base and the constant pressure? I mean, the guy's got I wouldn't say it's a cush job, but pretty good to sit up there and just analyze everybody's teams every week. And why would I just don't see him leaving that.
And he's still, everybody talks about, well, he gets up and does this work. He still gets up now at 5 in the morning and goes to his little place that he's rented. He has an office in Tampa where he goes every day and watches film.
Yeah.
He studies. He's constantly studying and doing it. Rumor is he's the highest paid employee at ESPN. Now, I don't know if that's fact. Nobody's ever been able to prove it. None of the media writers I follow on Twitter or anything have ever come out and said, yeah, John Gruden's the highest paid employee at ESPN. I would think that would be hard to believe, but you never know. But still, he makes that much money, makes the money doing the commercials for the beer and for Hooters. So it's like in other places. So it's like, why would he give it up after being retired for so long? If he had just been out of it a year or 2, you could see it. But even if he takes the Tennessee job, and this is what Tennessee, the Grudenites have failed to realize. Okay, he takes the Tennessee job and gets the team back where it should be, and he wins. Okay, how long is it going to be before the Gruden to the NFL rumors are going to start? Like probably 30 seconds after he takes the job in Knoxville, it's going to always be. I think if he coaches anywhere, he's going to end up back in Tampa, because I think they're tired of they've wore their Atlanta Falcon experiment out with Cutter and Mike Smith, and even if Cutter would survive this year, Mike Smith's not. They're going to can him at the end of the year, but I think Cutter's gone as well, and I think the Tampa Bay would be maybe receptive to possibly bringing Gruden back. I mean, he would be working with kind of a veteran team. You know how much Gruden loves working with quarterbacks in there. He's got famous Jameis. So that to me makes more sense than him coming to Tennessee, something he's never done before. And I think Tennessee just needs to get a good solid football coach and get him in there. And that's why, and maybe even Chad, and even another name I've even heard, Chad Morris from SMU.
Heard Mike Norvell from Memphis.
Even though Chad's job is, he's really wanting the Texas A&M job. That's his, from what I've understood, that is his dream job, is Texas A&M, and it's going to come open. I just don't see that Sumlin survives.
It comes down to, and this is purely hypothetical, it came down to a Dan Mullen versus a Jimbo Fisher. Who would you go after? Who would you take if you're Tennessee?
I would probably hire Dan Mullen. Look at his track. If you just look at Dan Mullen's track record at developing quarterbacks on the college and professional level, it's outstanding. Now Jimbo's done the same thing, but I think Mullen would be he would be the solid hire. Jimbo though would be the more splashier hire, and maybe he comes to Tennessee and does a good. And I think he would do a good job at Tennessee. I just think Mullen maybe is the better hire. Now you're also going to have to see what happens at Arkansas. Jeff Long getting fired yesterday. No real surprise. I mean, they've been after him for so long down at Arkansas. I mean, he made a disastrous hire to Bobby Petrino, and how that all ended with Petrino. And Brett Bielema is on his way out the door. Mm-hmm. So Long had to go first because they're going to get a new AD before they get a football coach. Then Bielema is probably shown the door next week after they play their last game.
We're talking to Carmichael Talking Sports, and we're live at Champion Chevrolet. Andy's going to join us coming up here in a few minutes from Champion Chevrolet. Don't forget tonight, the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. It's all college tonight, of course. One high school team still standing, the Greenville Green Devils, taking on Anderson County tomorrow night in the quarterfinals. Could be, after watching Anderson County and Greenville this year play Elizabethton, could be for the state championship. You know, it's quarterfinals. That's not to slow anybody across the state, but both 12-0, both really good football teams. It'll be a good one tomorrow night down at Burley Stadium in Greenville. We'll talk a little bit about that, but we'll certainly showcase the East Tennessee State-Chattanooga game, final game for the Bucks this year. The Hokies back home take on the Pitt Panthers. Tennessee's got LSU, so we'll have all that to talk about. And just the top 5 college football games this week in the country. We're going to work through that. Carmichael's got a previous engagement, so Dave Ange and I are going to take care of that for him for this week. We've got one more show. We'll do, of course, next week's Turkey Day, and we'll do the final show of the season on the 30th. And then we'll box it up and come back again next year with year number 2.
And this is not a big week. This really is not a big weekend for college football. I mean, it's kind of the nap before you eat the big meal.
Yep.
Because this weekend, really, the big game is Michigan, Wisconsin.
Yep. Who you like there?
I like Michigan. I think Michigan gets the job done. Played well enough on defense. Wisconsin, I think, got beat up a little bit last week with Iowa. That was a pretty physical ball game. I look for Michigan to pull the surprise and win in Camp Randall this weekend.
See, I'm leaning towards Wisconsin. I think they're kind of the dark horse in this whole thing. So the top 4 CFPs came out. You had Alabama, Clemson,
Miami
and Oklahoma. What do you think? You okay with those?
I'm okay with those because eventually Miami Clemson is going to be an elimination game. If Clemson wins out the next 3 weeks, or next 3 weeks if they beat Miami in the championship game. If Miami wins out, I don't think Virginia gives Miami much of a game this week. So I look for Miami to get all the way, play the championship. The only way I could see 2 ACC teams getting in the Final Four would be if Miami lost maybe on a last-second field goal to Clemson, and maybe you had some bedlam, maybe if Ohio State beat Wisconsin in the championship game, or Penn State even sneaking back, or Michigan sneaking back through, winning the Big Ten East and beating Wisconsin. But Auburn's still the wild card. And that's another play. That's another rumor I heard this morning. Don't be surprised if when Arkansas makes the move with Bielema that the math professor doesn't pick up and go west to Arkansas.
Really? Gus Malzahn going from Auburn to Arkansas?
Possibly from Auburn. Because, he's just a 9-3 season, 8-4 season next year of being out of job. So, and he's realized the pressure's been on this year. It's like, well, if you don't win those 2 games, Georgia and Alabama, you're probably going to get fired. Mm-hmm. He's got a good bet of actually winning the games. So maybe Gus gets out of town before the posse gets to him, especially if he beats Alabama next week, which is a good possibility. He gets the SEC title game against Georgia. And then if he wins it, he really is in high cotton.
Toast of the town.
Because then he's going to if he wins that, he'll go to the Final Four. They will take a 2-loss team in the Final Four if it's Auburn.
Yep. We're talking to Carmichael. It's a great point. So this week, okay games, but next week is rivalry weekend, and it's going to be a barn burner next week. And, of course, we'll be off on Thursday for Thanksgiving. We'll be back in here on Friday talking about it. And maybe I can get him on the phone or get him some way, shape, or form. We'll also be at Hardee's in Jonesboro on Monday. Tuesday will be at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. Wednesday off, Thursday off next week for Thanksgiving. And then back in here on Friday at Champion Chevrolet. College basketball. Had a good one the other night. You had number 1 Kansas against, not number 1 Kansas.
Duke and Michigan State.
Was a very... And Kansas and Kentucky.
Yeah, Kansas and Kentucky was, after watching that Michigan State Duke game, you in Michigan State and Duke, you have got some future NBA stars. And it was as good a game basketball, any kind of classification you want to see. I mean, you had probably 5 first-round draft picks at least playing in that game the other night. Michigan State's going to be a contender all year long. They're not going away. They look like maybe the class of the Big Ten this year. Duke looked really well. Grayson Allen had 37, shot the ball extremely well. Kentucky is really struggling, but they're another example of a team that has young team trying to come together. Kentucky should be better by the end of the year. Come tournament time, middle of the season in the Southeastern Conference, Kentucky should be much better. They struggled. They lost the other night. They struggled with Vermont, barely beat Vermont. Struggled with it was I want to call them Utah State, but it was like Southern Utah State or the team that they played Friday night. They trailed by 9 at the half and came back to win.
Utah Valley,
yeah. They struggled with them and struggled with Vermont. But it's just going to be a work in progress. The Bucks play Kentucky this weekend.
Yeah, East Tennessee State goes there tomorrow night, take on the Wildcats at Rupp Arena. So we'll see how that goes. Anything's possible, and ETSU's got a pretty good ball club. If you catch them now while they're young, them being Kentucky and kind of trying to find themselves before they get going, you may be able to get a chance to get up here and pull off a big upset tomorrow night. Hoping so, anyway.
Especially in these early games. It's like last night I watched Central Arkansas, whose only claim to fame was where Scottie Pippen played when he was. They almost beat UCLA last night in Pauley Pavilion. They lost in overtime. Had a 1-point lead with 3 seconds left in the game. UCLA drew a foul, came back, made a free throw, tied the game, and went to overtime. And UCLA was just barely able to pull away from them at the end. So sometimes early in the year, those little programs can upset the big boys because it's just right there early in the season.
Yeah, Creighton got them last night. Creighton got a big win. They upset Northwestern. They're 20th ranked, but they still beat them by 4. Tonight, as we told you, you got 8th ranked Florida, 11th ranked Miami, 12th ranked Cincinnati, 13th ranked Notre Dame, and 3rd ranked Arizona in action. The good matchup tonight, 15th ranked Xavier, the Musketeers in Camp Randall to battle Wisconsin, who's also 2-0. That's a good game tonight. Both unbeaten, and Musketeers 15th in the country. That could be interesting.
Cincinnati is really maybe the place for college basketball with the Bearcats. A team that could possibly sneak in. I've seen them in some people's Final Four this year. Xavier has a great program there. I mean, it looks like that, and it should be a good game tonight with Xavier and Wisconsin. Wisconsin, year in, year out, has been one of the best teams in the Big Ten Conference.
We're talking to Carmichael. We're live at Champion Chevrolet. Andy joins us coming up here in a few minutes. A couple more topics. NBA, big one tonight, good one. Golden State and Boston to battle the Celtics. They've won 13 straight. Golden State, the defending world champs. That's tonight. Last night watched a little bit of the Cavaliers in Charlotte, and Cavaliers kind of limped along. They won. They're only 8-7 though. So, what's your take on the NBA so
far?
The
Cavaliers with that AARP team out there with Derrick Rose and Dwayne Wade and LeBron. I mean, that's a team you worry. They've got to pace themselves. If they can keep everybody healthy, maybe when they get to the playoffs, they become dangerous. But right now they're struggling. And it kind of reminds me of the Celtics team the last year Bill Russell played. All those old guys, well, they struggled through the regular season, but they made the playoffs. And once you got them in the playoffs, then they were tough to beat. If people, Joel Embiid from Philadelphia, if you don't believe that the kid can play, last night he had, and I mean, granted, they played the Lakers, but he still had 47 points. I think it was 17 rebounds. He had 7 assists and 7 blocked shots. I mean, Philadelphia is getting ready to be one of the fun teams and getting ready maybe this year to contend for a top playoff spot in the East with the Embiid and Ben Simmons.
They beat the Lakers, the Forum, last night, 115-109. So that's what's going on in the NBA. National Hockey League, the Preds skate tonight in Minnesota, 10-5-2. Minnesota 8-7-2. Predators, where you want them right now?
Yes, playing well. They got picking up Kyle Turris last week. That was a great trade. They had to give up a couple of young pieces, but to get a second-line center like they did in Turris, he gives them scoring depth, and that's what they need. Pecorini's still doing a great job this year. He's won 9 games, 9-2-2 so far as a goalie. Done a great job. The Predators have won, I believe, now 5 in a row. So let's go get Minnesota tonight. It's a tough divisional matchup for the Predators.
Well, say hello to Chip Pratt watching up in Cincinnati, Ohio. Hello, Chip. Again, he and I go back. We met back, last year? Got him down to Bristol for the first time, got him some tickets to the races back in the spring and the fall, and loved it. So hello to Chip Pratt and the good folks up in Cincinnati watching the show. We're live here again inside the studio, inside the showroom at Champion Chevrolet here in Little East Tennessee, and this is the #1 Chevy dealer in the entire state. If you look at the state going from Mountain City all the way out to Memphis, and in between, it's the #1 Chevy dealership. We've got 51 Chevy dealerships in Tennessee, and these folks are #1. Again, they wear it out. It's what they do. So, numero uno as far as the old sales, and the #1 Chevrolet dealer in the state between Mountain City and Memphis. And so hello to Chip Pratt and the folks watching up in Cincinnati. All right, back to a couple of college football. LSU at Tennessee. Brady Hoke, interim coach at Tennessee. Does it make any difference? Can they beat LSU?
I think they play hard. I think they play with LSU for probably 3 quarters. They've got to give much better effort than they did last week at Missouri. Well, even in that game, they were in that game at still a half. I mean, Missouri had their chances. They dropped a couple touchdown passes, could have blown the game open early. Tennessee hung in, but then the third quarter, it was just a disaster. I think those players really are going to try to play hard this weekend to prove, to get out underneath Jones's thumb. And I think you're going to see a little bit different schemes on offense and defense, just a few wrinkles there. Brady Hoke knows that this is just he's interim, he's there for 2 weeks. But what he's trying to do is hope that the Tennessee responds well to his coaching. Then that maybe gets him out of there, possibly gets him another gig going in next year.
If you're an athletic director, do you hire Butch Jones?
It depends on where you're at. I think he's, I saw some tweets. People in Kansas were wanting Butch Jones to come out there to the University of Kansas, because that's Greenville High may be able to beat Kansas. There's a lot of, Kansas is really a barren place.
Mm-hmm.
But I see Butch Jones he's a Mid-American Conference, AAC type coach, especially Mid-American Conference. I think that's where he ends up eventually. Maybe like Frank Solich, we talked about, went from Nebraska, was a really good coach at Nebraska, just unfortunately 1 year won 9 games, and that wasn't good enough for the fan base. He's gone to Ohio and done a great job there. I could see Butch Jones ending up back at a place like in the Mid-American Conference and doing well.
Before I let you go and find out what's going on in the Parks and Rec, here we go. Let's go down to SEC real quick. Alabama, Mercer, Alabama all the way, I would think. Arkansas, Mississippi State in Fayetteville.
That's going to be a bloodbath, Mississippi State.
Auburn and the Duck Dynasty boys, Louisiana Monroe.
No, that's Louisiana Monroe. I think has Auburn this week, and then they got Florida State again in a couple of weeks. I look for Auburn to win, just try to get through the game healthy and ready for next week's Iron Bowl. Florida
is an underdog to Alabama Birmingham in Gainesville. I saw a couple of lines where they said the UAB at 7-3, and Florida is 3-6, 4. Let's see if I can add them up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 4-6. They are an underdog at their home field in Florida.
I think, especially if the announcement's made that Chip Kelly takes the team before Saturday, I think Florida wins, because I think they're going to want to show their new coach, this is an audition for them. So I'm thinking that they respond well and come back and beat UAB next week.
Kentucky at Georgia.
If it was a basketball game, Kentucky would have a chance, but not this week. Georgia rolls.
Ole Miss hosting Texas A&M.
That could be an interesting game. 2 coaches basically fighting for their jobs, but I like Texas A&M.
Missouri, Vanderbilt, and Nashville.
Missouri.
All right. And then South Carolina non-conference against Mike Ayers and the Wofford Terriers.
That game will be closer than a lot of people think. He will muck it up and run that wishbone. And there have been years, even when Spurrier had really good teams, South Carolina, Wofford went to the fourth quarter either with the lead or within a field goal of the game. South Carolina wins, but it won't be pretty, and it'll be close.
Johnson City Parks and Rec, what's going on, my friend?
Looking to hire basketball referees and scorekeepers. We are in need of those. So if you're at least 16 years old, have knowledge of basketball, and can pass a background check, then we're looking for you. Come by our athletic office Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30.
And these are paying positions.
These are paying positions. Yes.
I know Kevin does a lot of refereeing.
Kevin does umpiring and refereeing for us, and so, but yes, we are looking for referees and scorekeepers.
Yep.
So come by. NASCAR this weekend, you got the Final Four. I'm Martin Truex Jr. I know you're a Kyle Busch man, and I know you're hoping, but I think this is Martin Truex's time. I really do. I think he's, they say, well, like Bum Phillips said, well, we knocked on the door, then we had to kick the door through. Well, I think this is Martin Truex kicking the door through this weekend.
Truex, Keselowski, Harvick, and Kyle Busch battling for the championship on Sunday in Homestead. Carmichael, you're awesome, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Sir.
Maybe we can get together Monday or Tuesday and swing by. Maybe Monday down in Jonesboro and come by and talk.
Yeah, we'll see. I know Monday's pretty much out, but maybe towards the end of the week, maybe even next Friday, we'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll be back here at Champion next Friday, so appreciate you very much. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Thank you.
And good luck on that bear on your back porch.
Yes.
That made me nervous, and it's not even me. A bear on your back porch, like right outside the back door.
Actually, on the front porch, on the front deck. On the front deck. He was away from the food. The food's in the back of the house. But he goes through the garbage cans just like he, even our neighbors. I'll drive down in the morning and I'll see neighbor has supposedly a bear-proof garbage can. Well, there's been mornings that bear proofed what was in that garbage can.
There you go.
Yes.
Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll talk to my man, Andy Dietrich, due to join us next year. We're live at Champion Chevrolet on show number 636 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's model year closeout with gym employee pricing and 20% off on 17 models at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. It's a great time to take advantage of closeout savings on our selection of over 300 Chevys to choose from. 17 1500 work truck, $23,995. 17 track, $17,548. 17 cruise, $16,488. 17 spark, $10,950. 17 Malibu, $18,985. Closeout savings, Saturday parts and service hours, and shopping online 24/7 will leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
And we're back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show. We are live, and there he is on screen, the champion again.
The champion.
The champion. So, Andy Dietrich's in the house. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm offering tutorial lessons on how to properly pick.
Oh, here we go. Tutorial lessons on how to properly pick winners. Winner chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Or chocolate chip cookies. You still got them? You done passed them all out?
Oh, they're gone.
Oh. I'm assuming, making the assumption, Mr. Copenhagen did not, because he's, by the way, he looks, I don't know if I can get him over here on camera. Guy's lost. How much you lost, Tim? As soon as I walked in today, first time I really noticed it because his face, you can tell he's doing great.
Yeah.
So chocolate chip cookies probably not on his menu, I don't guess.
Yeah, he can't stand up out of that chair over there because he does, his pants fall off because he's lost so much weight. What do you say? It's from once he wasn't listening.
Oh,
he'll have to go record it back to hear that one.
He said, what'd he say? Well, it was a compliment in a roundabout way. Yeah, there you go, in a roundabout way. So he didn't get up out of that chair too much because his britches will fall off.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. You lost that much weight. He really has. He looks good.
I mean, he walked outside the other day, the wind blew, and he lifted up off the ground. We had to grab him.
You make him, yeah, he may just take you back and put you in a headlock and say, how'd he do that? So there you go. Our buddy Andy Dietrich's in the house. We're live here again at Champion Chevrolet inside the studio, inside the showroom. Won't be here next Thursday because we'll be enjoying
the weight loss
turkey.
showroom.
Yeah, the weight loss showroom, yeah. Won't be here next week because we'll be enjoying Thanksgiving, but we'll be here next Friday.
On the side of the building.
You what?
Jenny Craig.
Oh, so you're just piling it on, aren't you? You're digging it deeper. I'm trying to get away from it. You just keep coming right back to it. So, GM employee pricing. We're going to let you do the picking panel on the air this week when we do this coming up.
Do people think I cheat?
No, they're not going to think you cheat. You said you're going to give tutorial lessons on how to win, so we're going to let you do that coming up here in a minute. So, why don't you tell us about that GM pricing, because the folks out there get the same price. Say hello, look up there and say hello to Chip in Cincinnati, would you please?
Hello, Chip in Cincinnati.
There
That's a long ways away.
Way down the road. So
I didn't know you knew people that far away.
Oh, yeah, on WLW Radio in Cincinnati. He's a great guy. Listens, watches every day.
What's that show that was?
WKRP?
Yes.
Oh, you got to watch that. Let me go ahead and tell you, if you want, it's a tradition for my place. Of course, I've been in radio all these years. Is to go back and watch the Thanksgiving episode of WKRP, and they gave away the.
It's a good one.
They dropped the turkeys out of the helicopter, and they live turkeys.
What was that lady? Lonnie, what was her?
Lonnie Anderson.
Lonnie Anderson.
Jennifer.
Married to Burt Reynolds there for a while, don't you?
And then Bailey, the other girl, played on the show. And then Les Nessman, Herb Tarlick, Mr. Carlson, Andy, Venus. You got to go back and look. You can find it on YouTube. The Thanksgiving episode of KRP where they gave away turkeys, dropped them out of the helicopter, and they wouldn't fly. And Les is doing a live broadcast at the grocery store, and you hear glass crashing because it's going through cars, and you see people running by. And Mr. Carlson got back to the radio station. The quote of the show says, "As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly." You got to watch it.
I've seen turkeys fly.
Oh, Lord, it's a great show. Anyway, WKRP. Hello to Chip and the kids in Cincinnati, and also hello to Beth down in Georgetown, South Carolina. Chris Payne watching over at Eastman. Hello to you. Oh gosh, there was some more Joel Ragsdale, one of the pitmasters for Food City, watching today.
I'm watching you over there at my desk. I can shout out.
Wanted to shout out to Andy Dietrich over there, AD, right across the lobby here of the showroom at Champion.
I gotta make sure you look good. I know I can see you, but I need to make sure you're on there.
Yeah,
looking good.
Looking good. Looking all right.
You look great.
Thank you.
Very few times I've ever seen you not look
Thank
great.
you. Love the Champion ball cap. Now you're growing some whiskers. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know really why.
Yeah.
But it's just getting cold.
Does Mr. Dietrich like it?
Not really.
Okay. Is Mr. Covenant, can he grow a beard? I guess
yes, he grew one last year.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I saw where Jay's got one of the sales guys.
Jay is participating in the No Shave November. I'm really not. I am shaving a little underneath this scruff. But Jay is going all out. And Jay, he just posted, right before I came over here, there he is over there. Jay, we're talking about you.
Yep.
He just posted a new profile picture on Facebook of him sitting out on the golf cart with all his grizzliness here. And the first comment underneath it, somebody wanted to know if he was Negan from The Walking Dead. You've got to watch The Walking Dead to truly appreciate it. Yeah. Negan is the bad guy in The Walking Dead. It's a baseball bat with barbed wire wrapped around the top of it, and he hits people with it.
That's not nice.
So somebody, and it wasn't me. I'm just saying what's on social media.
I thought the guy looked good. I told him that salt and pepper beer looks good.
Yeah. 16 days.
I was come off in 16. No shave November.
We call him Grizzly Adams.
Grizz. I thought it looked good. I thought he looked dapper.
No, he does. He looks.
Yeah, he does.
Good, different in a good way.
Yeah.
70. Lloyd just took his hat off and he's bald on top. And he said 70 years.
We're here live at Champion Chevrolet. Love having Andy come over and hang out with us. So
you never know what we're going to
get. Jeremiah Clark, my IT guy, says he does not miss. When he hears Andy's coming on, he says he pulls up and he watches the show because you don't know what Andy's going to do. He said, nope, we always have fun with Andy Dietrich. How do they do that?
How do you get these women to bring you food?
I don't know. Tiffany, when she first came in, I sat down. I said, I don't want to think. What did I say? Yeah, don't be offended, but don't be offended, but you smell good. And she said it was Bath and Body Works. I thought I'm gonna get the little people some smelly stuff that she had on. So then she brought me food and brought me some Hardee's chicken tenders.
That's a big box. Look at that.
I want you to go back and nuke that because they've been sitting there for a while. So give those to Cletus. Let Cletus have those. And let him enjoy the chicken tenders from Hardee's because I'm on there and I can't.
You've got it made.
Yeah.
You're coming back tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
Come back tonight.
Is Dave coming?
Yes.
Okay, I've got his money.
Got his money tonight. We'll be. By the way, the Champion Chevrolet will be tonight, not next Thursday, of course, and the following Thursday is the final show of the year to wrap things up for college football because at that point the bowls will be kind of divvied up and all that. So we'll be talking about that. I don't know if we'll have a UT coach by then or not. I'm going to ask you the $100,000 question. Then we'll get into gym employee pricing. Then you got the picking panel. Who's going to replace Butch Jones? I'm going to throw out some names. Do you think it's going to be John Gruden?
Would I like it? Yes. Would he give up his cushion job? No.
I just don't see it.
I mean, I think he what's he make $6 million a year? He'd go up to $4 million a year, more.
And for all those headaches, and the pressure.
And you see, Tennessee fans want to win, and they get upset when they don't. And God, I sure wouldn't want to.
And he'll be.
I sure wouldn't want to do that.
And he'll be on a short. I mean, he won't. They won't give him much time. They'll be on him too.
And then we had a guy in here this morning that said, "Oh, it's Kiffin." All the Rocky
Lane
Top
Kiffin.
Yeah, and I was like, no. There would be riots and fires in the street in Knoxville if.
I'll bet you that Corvette's sitting right there. And I know how much it is. Lane Kiffin does not.
I know he won't come back. No,
there's not a chance.
He burned too many bridges.
No.
Yeah. But who? What's the other guy's name?
Chip Kelly.
Name. Chip Kelly's name's been thrown around a long time.
Now, here's an interesting stat about Chip Kelly. Because he got in trouble with the NCAA through Oregon, he can't come to any SEC school unless the commissioner grants his
What about
hiring.
Les Miles?
Les Miles?
He's retired.
Where'd I hear he was at Oregon State, maybe? Interesting going out there. You got Chip Kelly. You've got John Gruden. You've got Dan Mullen, Mississippi State. I hear that a lot, although Florida's after him. You've got Justin Fuente, Virginia Tech. I don't see it.
Graham Clark.
Tim Covenhaver.
Yep.
So Tim's not in here right now. So
no, he went out that door.
Yeah. So
I think he was getting hot from getting mad at me for talking about him getting beat all these times in the picking panel, so he had to go outside and cool off a little bit.
He doesn't let up. I will say that Andy starts firing those shots, and
it's
easy.
I don't have to do anything at all. It just kills him.
It does.
His sports knowledge versus my little, very minuscule amount of sports knowledge. And for me to beat him, I don't have to do anything.
No, I'm telling you.
But because it irks him, I just pour a little salt in the wound. And
well, not a little salt. It's like Morton's when it rains it pours. Andy's going.
Yeah.
He said, would you like the prize last week was chocolate chip cookies that Andy requested, so he won. Brought him in today, and so he opens up the canister, got him from where, Food City, and he said, Tom, would you like to have a champion chocolate chip cookie?
A winner's cookie.
I looked at Mr. Copenhaver and saw that muscle right here just twitch.
Yeah.
So he's competitive. All right, GM employee pricing. Very rare opportunity. What'd you say? 4 times in 11 years they've done it?
Yeah, probably so. I can't. It's so little. I can count it on one hand. I know that, or less than one hand. But what it is GM employee pricing is if you work for General Motors, the actual General Motors company. That's where your check comes from. You build the cars. You work in the corporate offices of General Motors. This is the cheapest price that you can buy an automobile from General Motors, and they're offering it all this month on most all the 17 vehicles at GM employee pricing, and some of them even have additional rebates on top of that. So, you know, you're getting thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars off, and it's helping us move the 17s because 18s are rolling in every day. So it's a great deal, and it's on most of the most expensive models we have, from the Silverados, Tahoes, Suburbans, Express vans, Traverses that it's on. And then also you've got 20% off select 17 Cruise, Malibus, Sonics, Impalas, and in lieu of this 20% off on these select 17 cars, you can get 0% up to 72 months. So it's a win-win on every vehicle on the lot. So come see us before the end of the month.
There you go. They've also got a chance to get 0% for up to 72 months or 6 years.
5 years, no interest.
Or
6 years, no interest.
Or 20%. Either one, it's a better deal for you. And so you said if they're going to keep it long term, 0% is the way to go. If you're someone who trades every 2 or 3 years, then the 20% be the way to go.
Yes,
right?
Get the money up front off of the vehicle.
Yeah, and he's telling you that. And this
yes,
guy's
that's a secret. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, the co-owner of the company saying, "Get the money up front." There you go.
Well, I mean, some people do drive them to the wheels fall off and then do 0%. You know, do that. But if you're like more and more people every day, you see a new color, a new style comes out, or a new vehicle that you head over heels for, and take the 20% off the top.
Pick and banner, LSU, UT. Who you taking?
Poor UT. LSU.
LSU. He's won 3 out of the last 4 weeks. He's on it. Michigan at Wisconsin.
What's their records? Do you have?
Yes, I do.
I need my stats, please.
Yes,
my stat.
Okay, Michigan is 8-2. Wisconsin's 10-0.
Well, I'm gonna have to go to Wisconsin.
Taking Wisconsin.
The next one, Virginia Tech, really disappointed me last week. I picked them.
They're 7-3. Pitt's 4-6 in
Did
Blacksburg.
I pick them last week? I can't remember.
Yes, you did.
Okay. What'd you say? Sorry, I was talking to myself.
4-6 Pitt, 7-3 Va-Tech.
I'm gonna go back on the Virginia Tech train. Get them to get back on the tracks.
All right, taking Virginia Tech. Kentucky at Georgia. Taking Georgia.
Georgia didn't look good last week, though.
No.
Woo.
North Carolina State at Wake Forest. You're gonna look at. You want to know those records, and you will. And I'm gonna see if I can scan this for you and present those to you. North Carolina State at Wake Forest. It's in here somewhere. We're here live at. There it is. Wake Forest 7-3. North Carolina State 7-3. Wake Forest 6-4.
I'm gonna say
NC State. All right. This is the picking panel. You can do the same thing. Larry Perry did it last week, and Elizabethton won $25. We'll tell you how you can do it in a minute. UCLA at Southern Cal. You're going to ask me those records.
Yeah, I'll have to have help with that one.
UCLA's 5-5. Southern Cal's 9-2. The big rivalry game, the bragging rights of LA.
I guess Southern Cal, since they're pretty dominant.
USC. All right. Then you have SMU at Memphis. Memphis, baby. SMU 6-4. Memphis is 8-1.
Memphis is a freight train this year.
Okay. Texas at West Virginia.
You're just going to have to help me with all these.
I see now Tim will complain that I'm giving you help, but that's okay. Texas at West Virginia.
Well, anybody can do this. You just happen to have the sheet just sitting there, so I don't have to look it up.
You know, I don't even see them on here. I should. I know they're in the picking. I don't know. West Virginia, Texas. I'm looking for the horns, and I don't see them on the page, the logo. I don't see the big WV. I don't see them, but they're on
falling
there.
Apart here.
Texas at West Virginia.
See Texas Tech. I don't see.
Yeah, so it's West Virginia, Texas. See if I can find that for you real quick. Maybe we can look in another source.
Can we phone a friend?
Well, yes, we can. Let's see. This is going to be in the East. Texas is 5-5. West Virginia is 7-3.
Well, let's go with West Virginia.
Let's go Mountaineers. There you go. Gosh, I can't believe a Marshall guy would sing that. Arizona at Oregon. I think that's on here. Arizona and Oregon. Man, this is... I pulled some out of the hat here, and let's go reference back to our page again, the Times News. And let's go to... probably in the far west, or the southwest. Arizona at Oregon. There it is. Arizona 5-5. Oregon 1. Nope, that's Arizona State. My bad. Arizona 7-3. Oregon 5-5.
Arizona.
East Tennessee State at Chattanooga.
Gosh, I'm gonna pick ETSU.
There you go.
I've been impressed with them this year. I know they record doesn't really show it, but they've had all but one game has been one game they sort of had a blowout, but the rest of them have been extremely competitive, fun to watch. If you didn't get over there this year, you've got to go see them play next year.
Yeah.
It's a fun stadium, fun atmosphere, easy to get in and out of, lots of tailgating, lots of special events. They had guys parachute in and everything, and it's a great thing they did here in Johnson City.
The Lady Bucks last night, speaking of ETSU, Tiana Tartar got her nose broke the other day, took 6 stitches on Saturday. She played last night, had 22 points. That's a tough girl there. They beat Appalachian State. Tomorrow night, the men go to Rupp Arena to battle Kentucky. I'm hoping for an upset. That'd be neat.
Speaking of broke noses, have you seen Chris McCall today?
No.
I don't think his nose is broken. I don't know if he was at church last night or what, but he was playing around with the kids at the church, I believe. He may come in and tell the story different, but an 8-year-old tackled him at church, and he's got this big, mark all across his nose, like they about took his nose off.
Well, we think he'll be on the show tonight, and he's a little self-conscious.
No, we're going to put him on no matter what. It'll be an employment requirement. No backing out. So the world can see his nose.
Looks
all
like a mummy.
Beat up.
Does he get out of this? No. He'll be here, Tom.
No,
Employment requirement. There you go. There you go.
We have to put up and look at it all day. So the viewers are too.
For a few minutes, right?
Yeah, for a few minutes.
He'll be talking about hokey high.
What's Pig call it? Segment for dummies.
Segment for football dummies. I love Pig. Pig's hilarious. One of the sales guys here. All right, before we let you take off, you got some pre-owned vehicles, and you've also got a chance. Let's follow up what Tiffany said about the gala, but let's start with some pre-owns.
We have approximately 150 used vehicles out there. We've got Suburbans, Tahoes, Escalades, Honda CR-Vs, Ram 1500 Civics, Equinoxes, Expeditions, Corollas, Camrys, Odysseys, Fusions, Encores, Cobalts, Mirages, Tacomas, Challengers, Highlanders, Camaros, XT5s, Ram 3500 Tradesman, flatbed 4-wheel drive with low miles on it. Looks like we've got about one of everything. And then jump to the next thing because I've run my mouth too long today.
No. We love having come on.
What Tiffany was here earlier, January 27th, the Mountain State Spirit Gala. We will have a drawing that night, and we have until January 27th to buy a raffle ticket. They're printed 4,000 tickets. They're $50 a piece. The grand prize winner has their choice of a 2018 Chevrolet Traverse, a 2017 Chevrolet Silverado, or 2018 Cadillac ATS. So if you win, we pull your name out, and you get first prize, you get to pick from one of those 3 cars, and it's yours forever. And it's not a lease. It's yours. Drive it home and never have to see you again in it. They'll also have a second, third, and fourth place drawing. Second prize drawing is $2,500 cash. Third place is $1,500 cash, and fourth place drawing is $1,000 cash. So 4,000 tickets sold, 4 prizes. You can buy as many raffle tickets as you want. 100% of the $50 on each raffle ticket proceeds go to Nice Swingers Children's Hospital. So it's a win-win. Money stays here.
You got it. It's all good. It's all right here at Champion Chevrolet. You here this evening, by the way?
Yeah.
Good.
I am going to sneak off and go down to the Night of Smiles.
Yep. Coming up at Bristol